Hi everyone, I'm Raga Olga De Silva, or totally out now as you know me. A very, very warm welcome to everyone. At Speaking Minds, we continue our focus on sharing powerful stories, insightful lessons, hosting thought leaders, motivational speakers, industry experts, performers, artists through our online show From the Other Side. I'm a co founder and director of Speaking Minds, as you know, India's largest international speakers bureau. Wow, today I have an exciting date at 8. How often do we get to hang out with someone who is an award winning actor, a heartwarming poet, an author whose authenticity is revealed in her memoir, Ma and Me? Authentic, real are the words that come to mind when one thinks of her. Whenever I've reached out to her, she has responded absolutely promptly and with so much warmth and affection. It blows my mind, really, how someone can be so unaffected by stardom. So it's an absolute honor to welcome the very gorgeous, super talented Divya Dutta.
Thank you,
Divya,
Raga.
how
Such a
amazing you look.
pleasure.
How
Thank
amazing
you,
you
my
look.
dear.
I
Thank
know
you,
you've had
sweetheart.
3 other talks today and you're still managing to look nice and fresh. So thank you for the
When you're having fun, you always tend to look fresh.
brilliant, brilliant. But I just, one of the questions that I've had is how do you stay authentic and how do you stay so real in a world that is so not so superficial, especially in your kind of business?
Actually, Raga, I think it's very easy. We tend to take ourselves very seriously with your work, with the kind of perceptions people have of you. We kind of build that kind of a thing around us that, we are so and we don't go beyond that. So I think what I do is I keep that child in me alive. Beyond my work zone, it is me. It is that naughty child who wants to do exactly what I want to do, and be it just going out there and having all the junk food or the golgappas, or just just having musty with my niece, nephew, or just playing downstairs. I wouldn't think anybody saying, "Hey, why is she doing that? And why is she out like that?" I mean, this is my life, and I'd like to lead it the way I would like to lead it. And I think it keeps you grounded and rooted when you just don't disconnect with the real you.
But in our industry, right? And I'm not going to pinpoint at any industry, but the media and entertainment industry, it is a very superficial world. How do you stay grounded? That's my question. I know that you are Kyla, but how do you? When
You
everybody's
see,
telling you, sorry, when everybody's saying to you, I love you, I want you. I mean, I saw your Facebook page. There's not a single person who doesn't think that you're not gorgeous, right? Or they want you. So how do you stay grounded?
well, I think they're also real in some way, and they mean what they're saying, and so you can just use it to that. And in our industry, if you're talking about, yes, it's a superficial industry in the way that I would say that it's need oriented. It's not superficial. If I have work with you, I will find you wherever in the world you are. Otherwise, I could go crazy chasing you and probably might not find you. So that happens. And when you meet somebody, there's diplomacy for the sheer reason that you don't know who's needed when. And everyone wants to do their work. It's not like there's any ulterior motive or any manipulation or anything, but everyone wants to get their jobs done. It's a tough life out there. So you just want to get it all done. So I think now we see beyond these things. We see beyond these. If you see times and society is changing now. We are going away with the sweetness and with the, hey, you're looking this. And the moment somebody says, there's a comment behind, I'll say, "Arey yaar, get over with your
Sure.
basics and let's just talk what we need to talk." So I think we are somewhere becoming real. And as far as the compliments are concerned, it's talking about, I think most of them are genuine. So
Okay.
I
No, of
take it that way.
course. Of
And I think
course.
it just, no, what I mean is, I wouldn't let myself fly with it. I think I belong to a family, they'll pull me up so badly. My brother, he is a brat and he will just run me down on everything I do. If I'm singing, if I'm being a buffoon at home, anything. And he'll say, the whole world puts you here, then who will get you down? I need to do
We all
that.
need that, isn't it? We need that person in our lives. But I've got a few.
So, yeah, so we all have some friends who just show us the real thing. And I think it's nice to just listen to them once a
Fantastic.
while.
Divya, we've got already got a fantastic audience here. People are saying
I'm
hi to
glad.
you. And anyone who is listening in, thank you for joining us. And if you want to ask Divya any questions, Please feel free. We will keep taking those questions as we go along. Now, Divya, as I said to you earlier, there are many parallels between us. Of course, we are a completely different universe as well, but there are many parallels when I was
Just
researching.
mentioned. Yes.
Yeah, and one thing is that, like, I lost my father at a very young age myself. So my mom raised me. I was only 6 when my I lost my dad. My mom raised me. So I belong to that society or that mold that is molded by a single mother. And that strength I have, and I have lots of conversations that I want to have with you around that. And I want to first start with the book that you wrote about your mom, about your mom and you, right? So can you just kind of share something about it, and what made you write, and how influenced were you by her?
So just like you, I lost my dad, Raga, when I was about 6, 7. And then I was not living that time with my mom. And I was in Delhi, and mom was in Punjab. And she was a doctor, and so was my father. So she came to meet me and she asked me, "Would you like to come back to me?" And I just told my aunts who I was staying with, and I had gone there for schooling. So I said, "Auntie, I think I need to go back to my mom. She needs me, and I need her." And from then on, a beautiful relationship started, Raga, which was not just of a mother daughter. Somewhere we had role reversal, sometimes with situations like she used to get crazily transferred everywhere. She was a single woman. And she used to, all she had for support was me, who was merely 10 or 12, and she used to hold my little hand and take me to offices and say, "Hey, I've got a little daughter, she's got school," and all that stuff. So she's seen a very, very tough life, but and she's faced it all with like major strength that I don't think I'm even like a patch on. But what I really also loved is, and what I learned from her is that child in her. And we used to live in a very small town, Raga, and there was no company that she had. So all her world was inside that house, which was her kids and her mother, just the four of us. And there was no way of expressing herself or an outlet or anything. So she used to write poetry. I'm sure she missed my dad and everything, but she never shared with me that I'm missing. She never showed me her weaker side ever. Um, all she did was have fun with us, do masti with us. I remember she used to love singing and dancing and terrible, but we used to have these rotten tomatoes and used to throw at her and say, "Hey, it's So that's what she taught us. Just learn to make fun of yourself. Learn to have fun at your own expense." And so that's how this relationship kind of nurtured until this day when I told her, "Mama, I have filled in a form to be an actor." And I was doing exceptionally well with my studies. I was a topper. I was ready
Wow.
to get scholarship. And everyone in the family, like 25 years back, would think that, hey, she is going to either get into the civil services or be a doctor. And she let me be. She just said, "What do you want to take?" I said, "Ma, I want to take arts." And that time, arts was kind of looked down upon. And when you're from a family of doctors, why are you taking arts? So I said, "Because I am not interested in science. It's as simple as that." And she let me. And then when I said I want to be an actor, everyone was against her. And they said, "You're making the biggest blunder of your life if you let your daughter go." But she stood by me. She dreamt with me. She just said, "I am behind you, with you. Just go ahead, chase your dreams. And if you ever fall, I'm there." So
How
Raghav, when your mother says, "I'm there," I don't think a child would ever let that mother down. So that means the world.
I feel
um,
well done. It's beautiful. It's so
yeah,
special, isn't it?
and then that child will never let the parent down. I mean, and I tried my best not to ever let her down, and we had a beautiful relationship. Thankfully, she came here to Mumbai with me, and we had the best time of our lives. She used to accompany me to shoots, and everyone knew a mother-daughter journey. It was like never Divya comes to an award or Divya goes somewhere. It was always Divya ki mummy and Divya. So we were like a jodi.
So you
So
mentioned that she was your best friend, for instance. So,
yeah.
like, how does a mother become a best friend? Like in this generation, my generation, where I have twins, we are best friends. But in my mother's generation, that wasn't like understood at all. It was a mother and a daughter. So how did you manage to create that?
All thanks to my mother. See, it's the kind of vibes you get from anyone. If I say a warm hello to you, you will say an equivalent warm hello to me. If I say
Wow.
a very dry one, you'll return the same thing right back, right? It's the
Right.
vibes. So when a parent says, I'm open to listening to what you've done, I have come back telling her the biggest goof up stories that I've done, the biggest blunders that I've made, my mistakes, my heartbreaks, everything. And I haven't been judged. So she would in fact tell me, hey, acha aisa ho gaya, koi baat nahi. Next time try not doing this, not repeating. And we are strong people. We won't do this again.
Lovely.
And so that mattered so much. And somewhere when she left, there was a huge vacuum. I didn't know what to do with myself because it was a jodi. And
Yeah.
so I had to write that book to celebrate somebody who was my life, or who my world was totally, around. And so I just had to get it all out of my system. It was a catharsis for me and Ma, and
Sure.
everything in this book was very organically coming. Be it the publishing house that I chose, I just
Sure.
ran. I mean, I was very keen on Penguin, and
Yeah.
I just instantly got them on board. Then this title just came to me and Ma. Simple, and yet it says everything.
Sure.
And that came in, and then I wanted a forward from Shabhana Azmi, and because I think she shares a very special bond with her own mother.
Yes.
And so she read my book, and she said, sure, I'm writing it for you. And then finally I wanted to have somebody come and launch the book for me, and my brother said, who do you want? I said, if I had my way, it would be Mr. Bachchan. So he says, what stops you? And that's when I just called him and I said, sir, I want you for this. And he instantly agreed. So I think it had mom's blessings. It had her writing it with me because I was so weak that time. I was undergoing depression, denial,
Sure.
what not, because my whole ground had shaken. I didn't know where I was standing. Still, I mean, a long way to go before I could even come to terms with that. But I think I've somewhere settled her inside me.
Yeah.
But this book says,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
this book says a lot about everything she made me into, right from the child to the teenager, and to an independent woman, which I never was.
It's so amazing to listen to this, Divya, because we all of us, right? All of us want unconditional love from our parents. And I'm just going to take
Sure.
take you a little away from your ma and talk about mine. And my
Yeah.
mother was absolutely just exactly how you described yours. I feel you're talking about my mother. When she passed away 6 years ago. For one whole year, I just couldn't work. No matter how hard I tried, I just couldn't work. I just wasn't. And then one day I dreamt of her. She came to me in my dream and she said, just get up. I'm in you. That when you said that, I'm in you, she's in me. She said, I'm in you. Why are you running away from that? And that's the
Yes.
day, instantly, I still remember that day. Suddenly woke up. I had three inquiries for a job and my life just kind of restarted.
Changed.
So it's almost like, and your earlier conversation on Insta that I was listening to was about learning and unlearning. So much
Yes.
we learn, and my book, in fact, Untold Lies, is about how, as little kids, we learn things that are told to us.
Yeah.
We think that is the right thing,
That
and
is
then
the right thing.
and we believe that, and we believe that, and that becomes us. And then over
Absolutely.
time, people tell you that is you, and you become that person because you believe
Totally.
everybody else, right? Until you reach a point, and maybe it is through your mother or through mine, I don't know what it was. And for me, I reached a point, I said, that is not me. That is what people thought I was. I am this different person, and I had to take a whole, I think, 5 years of journey to unlearn. And today I've become that person that I'm still work in progress, of course.
God
And
bless.
and so when you were talking on Insta Live, I thought, my God, this is so close to what the way I think. And I'm going to share a little bit more about this with you because I want to hear your views on it. See, my mother had a huge influence, like I said, single mom. She brought up three kids, and then one day I revealed to her about my sexuality. So I was married, I had two kids, and I had recently separated, and I revealed to her. And we were in New Zealand. I lived in New Zealand those days. For a mother who thought that I had the most fairy tale life that you can imagine, I did. I had a beautiful house, lots of cars, two kids, husband who absolutely adored me. And I said to her that actually I am not this person. I actually want to be with someone, from my same sex, and I had, fallen in love with someone. All hell broke loose, and I remember one night, my own mother, who I thought would love me unconditionally, tried to knife me. Okay, and she said it is better you die than you live this life of stigma, and what will the world say? So she was worried. This is about now going back 18 years ago when this was not that understood, right? Same sex. And but over the years she accepted Nicola and I. She lived with us and we brought up our twins. So for me, that takes me to the next part of our conversation, is the Sheer Qorma. And you chose to act in a film which is about same sex and which has obviously a lot of reference to a mother and daughter relationship. Can you share more about it?
Well, this is a very, very special film for me for more reasons than one. One, this topic is, I'm very close to this topic. A lot of my friends are, battling this kind of a conflict at home. And what I do feel personally that, as you were talking about our mothers and your previous question that you had asked me, what do you think, why we don't have this kind of relationship between a child and the parent? That is also, I think, because we are conditioned a certain way by the society, as you rightly said, that this is it, this is how you're supposed to be. That comes from our parents, then grandparents, and so they have lived, and that is what they think is the right thing to do. So when a child brings in their different choice which does not relate to the norms, um, even if the parents don't mean harm to you or whatever,
Sure.
it takes time for them to digest. It takes time for them to take off that thing that the child is not following what has been supposed to be the right thing to do, or a norm or a ritual or whatever that may be. This is the done thing, has been broken by a child. So I think it's a lot of emotions that come together. They expect certain things from you. They want you to do exactly what they would think is right. They think they have your best in their minds, everything and experience and everything, and they feel somewhere let down. So there's a lot of experience, emotions that come together. So I think it takes time to waver it off, and then they come around, and that is what Sheer Korma is all about.
Sure.
And where the mother is with certain beliefs, and she's right in her own way because she has come that way, but the child is in love, and she has made her choice, and she's right in her way. How the two meet on the same ground. And this is such an emotional film, Raga, that I think we have many films that are made on such topics, but this one kind of reiterates and sinks in this topic with this thing right inside you. You wouldn't have realized that you have taken something with you when you leave the theater or after you watched it. I'm sure you'll be a changed person because we complicate things. It isn't that complicated. You have to give everyone you love that space and that freedom to decide and make choices and support them. That is exactly what this film is, and it helped me so much to have Shabana ji with me playing my mother. And I was talking in the previous chat, an actor has only to react. And when I just looked at her, I could see all this gamut of emotions coming together, be it your conflict within the mind, be it the love for the child, be it that decision that, hey, I'm right and I should follow the society, everything together
Oh, yes.
was coming in one thing. And I just had to react. And it was heartbreakingly beautiful. And when you talk Sheer Korma, it brings in a broad smile. And I know what this film is going to do for the LGBTQ,
Oh,
for
I
sure.
can't wait. I can't wait, Divya, because I know that you're an LGBT ally. That's the first thing, right? I mean, all of us in the community know that. But for you to then, share a story, be a part of that narrative, I think it's very special for all of us. But did you feel, although you are an ally, did you feel yourself changing and transforming as well as you did that film?
See what happens. I am more of an instinctive actor, Raga. So I just let myself be in the role. So I'll be very honest. Before on being on the set, I was Divya. And when I wore that costume and I took that body language that I thought I should take. Actually, I didn't even decide I'll take a body language. It just came. It just happened. There's a certain body language, there's a certain vulnerability about her. And it left me more vulnerable uh, about acceptance
Sure.
from the people you love,
Yeah.
that sense of belonging that you want, that craving for that. And I could actually relate to, when you are an ally for something, it's a topic for you, and it's coming from friends. But when you're playing it
Yeah.
somewhere, it kind of comes through your system, and you actually live that role and live that life. So it somewhere became very personal for me.
Wonderful. So if I were to ask you, if your mother was around and if you were in a situation like that, and if you went to your mother and said to her that, "Hey, I'm in love, but I'm in love with somebody from my own sex," how do you think she would have reacted?
I wouldn't know, but knowing from everything that she did, um, she would probably have taken her glass of chai and be pissed off with me for a bit, not spoken to me till I went and managed her for everything. That was our track record. But I know eventually she would come
She,
around, and
she'd have
she stood
accepted.
by me. She would come around. She has supported me in everything I do. I mean,
Sure.
yeah, but yeah, I mean, she stood by me through all the relationships that I had, which were disasters.
See,
So
and this
I
is
can
what
think of these hypothetical ones.
I'm saying love is love, isn't it? In fact, I ran away from it, but yeah, for so many years that I shunned.
Huh.
I put myself in a closet. I said I don't want to go to this because there was so much abuse. You have no idea. Even in New Zealand, from our own community. I mean, they
Yeah.
spat on me and they kicked me physically. All that nonsense. Although I was very, well known there, and I was, doing a very, let's say, I was very successful professionally as well, but that didn't deter them from sharing their judgment and their insecurities, right? So it was a hard life, so I decided, hey, I don't want to talk about it. It's my private life. I live my life privately. And the most interesting thing is, I met my father's family in November last year. They invited me to a family with my partner after my story came out in the Humans of Bombay. My auntie, actually, my aunt is here online, Lena De Silva,
How
and
lovely.
yeah, and she said, "Please tell her I'm your auntie." And my entire
Hi.
my entire dad's family, who I ran away from, because my dad passed away when I was 6 years old, so they didn't really matter, or but I knew they would judge. Very, very highly educated, and I thought, oh my god, there's no way they will accept me being with a woman, so I ran away from it. But they have been the most supportive. So sometimes support comes from places that you never expect, right?
That's true. That's
And
true.
so I love that idea of that, that we communicate, we leave our fears behind, and just continue to be the people, just live a life with authenticity, which I think you live. And I think that's something that is very warming to watch. So thank you for being you. I would say, no, really, thank you
Thank
for
you,
being you.
Raka.
And I really
Thank you.
believe that's come from you and your mom. That's what the legacy that you're carrying, right?
Yeah, a lot of her in me now.
So
Yes.
you come across as somebody who's very, I'm going to use the word vulnerable. When talk to you, I feel, authentic people are quite vulnerable, happy to share, put their heart on their sleeves. So what makes you, act in these strong characters? Your character is always the strong woman. Why not a vulnerable woman?
Good question. Um, it's so interesting. I asked somebody, there were two roles in a film, and I said, "Hey, listen, why aren't you giving me that one?" He's saying, "Listen, तुम मार थोड़ी खाओगी, तुम तो एक चांटा लगा दोगी." I was like, "अरे." So I said, "Okay, fine." But I think, yes, you're right. I'm vulnerable. I am more childlike, I think, and I am very transparent with my emotions. I don't tend to hide them. If I like something, I like it. If I am hurt, I'm hurt. You will see it. If I am annoyed, you will see it there too. If I'm not liking somebody, it comes pops out of my mouth. Hey, hello, this is what I didn't like about you. So I am also very straightforward. But I think I do have a very clear mind, and that is what I think people think is the strength that I have. And I speak my mind, and I'm not scared of that. Every person has two sides to them.
Sure.
One is this side totally, which is my own side, and one I think is that screen aura that I have of this strong person, which isn't wrong either, but it is there, and I'm mostly given that. Very after ages, I was given this very vulnerable role, and I loved playing it with the psychological thriller that I did with Arshad Varsi and Juhi Chawla. So I
Okay.
was being given the antagonist's role, and I said no. Then they said there's that wife's role. She's vulnerable. I said yes, I'm doing that. so
That's great. That's great. Because I always, whenever I watch your films, Badlapur or whatever, I'm like, wow, such a strong. I mean, you come out of it learning a lot. There's no doubt about it. Power. I say, excellent. This is it. I want to be like this person. But after
But
I've
when you
got,
see Sheer Qorma, you will see the
yeah,
vulnerable. You will see the
okay, I
vulnerable.
can't wait because I always come back. After since I've got to know you, I think, my God, you're this person. It's like an open vessel, right? And it's you're strong, I know, but I'd love to see that, and I'm looking forward to Shir Kurma. In the meantime, can I just read some of the feedback and questions we're getting before I come
Sure.
to the next round? Yeah. Oh my God, so many people. Rashmi Mishra. Rashmi Mishra is very well known in London in the UK diaspora. She does a lot of work for the community. She says hi. Raj Singh Rawat says hello. Simi Sach. Dr. Simi Sachdev, she says hi. Kruti Parekh says hi. Rajni Shankar, Raj, Kanujia, Jitendra, Leena De Silva said, all saying hi. But let me come to Simi wants you to recite your poem, which we'll get to soon. Yes, Simi, we will get to that soon. Sonali says, hey. Great mother, great daughter, Jitendra Kumar Prasad says, I agree, Jitendra. Dilkhan says, hello, ma'am. Would love to ask you a question. I don't want to ask that question. Sonali says, me and mom. Well, and me and mom are also best friends. She's always the best one to know what's happening to me, says Sonali. How beautiful. Harish, Dr. Harish says, hello, Divya. Hi, Raga. Loved your work in Bhaag Milkha Bhaag and other
Thank
work
you.
too.
Thank
Dishant
you.
says, ma'am, okay, I'll skip that for now. Sarthak says, hi, Divya. Two ravishing ladies on the same screen. Yay! You can say anything to me. I'm in the presence of a diva. Lalit Sharma says, my favorite Divyaji, absolutely love your talent from the time of Train to Pakistan. Loved your poem on COVID. Ye to hum zarur karenge. Sarthak, hey, how have your outlook changed personally? How have you decided to something about it and educate and enlighten people, not to judge people who may think differently? So I'm thinking that how has your outlook changed, which we I think addressed as
We've
we were,
addressed that.
yeah,
Yes.
we addressed
Yes.
that. My auntie is saying, Olga, uncle too is listening and feels excited that his niece is doing so well. Thank you,
How
uncle.
sweet.
Sonali says, such a beautiful, heartwarming conversation and such beautiful insights into human emotions and relationships.
I'm
Thank you,
glad. Thank
Sonali.
you. Thanks.
Vaishali says, Raga, Divya ma'am's laughter is so delightful. I think she should try comedy too. What do you think?
I'm doing comedy. In fact, I'm doing a film which should be I've just shot for Sony Pictures, and hilarious and crazy mad role. Absolutely.
Yeah, you have a fantastic laugh. We should try. We will try and engage her in some funny things so she can laugh more for us
Yeah.
this
Can't
evening.
control laughter. I can't control tears. I can't control laughter.
See, this is love it. रुलाएंगे नहीं आपको सिर्फ हंसाएंगे.
हंसाएंगे चलिए
हाँ.
बढ़िया.
Sarthak says, why the name Sheer Qorma? Do you know why?
I think it's the sweetness of a relationship, sweetness coming from that dish. And I think Faraz is the better person to ask about it. He titled it so.
Yeah. So it's also to do with because it is also about a community, a certain community.
It
Or
is,
does
but
it
the name
represent
is
that?
not because of that, I would say. I
Yeah.
mean, yes, of course, it's an integral part of it, but I think, is the sweetness of the relationship. It could be, I mean, I'm sure it wouldn't be kheer. So, Sheer Korma sounds interesting.
Sounds very interesting. That sounds very interesting. My favorite. I used to have Muslim neighbors when I was growing up, and I used to love that dish. Still do. Anu Bugal Kotikar says another friend of ours. We do a lot of events together, musical events together here in London, and she says, "Raga, don't forget me. Love you both."
Oh.
See all your fans. Okay, so Raj Singh Rawat has an interesting question. He's saying that please ask Divya, what about lobby system in the industry?
Well, I think there's lobby, as in they would talk about nepotism in a way.
I
Or
would think that I would think nepotism, right?
so I think it's everywhere. If I had a friend and it comes naturally that I'd say, "Hey, Raga, that's my friend. If just see if he fits into your film." Um, and vis-a-vis another newcomer just coming directly to you. So I think everyone has their journey, which is tough. I'm not, this place is tough. This place has hardships. This place has hard work. You have to prove your mettle, come what may, whoever you are, period. So it's about that first chance that you get. Me as a newcomer coming from outside probably got just one. And then um, if that film is good, great. If not, then you have to really struggle to get another chance. But if you come with some backups, maybe you get two, three chances, and maybe you get a very good cushioning for an introduction for a debut film. But apart from that, I think even in that big film, people will see ye kaisa hai, how are you, can I relate to you?
Sure.
Hey, this one is star material. That's why we say, look at that. I mean, when you see a gully boy, you see this boy, fabulous actors in that. There is Siddhant Chaturvedi, there
Yeah.
is Vijay Varma. Now, there are new people. I mean, new as in uh, they aren't coming from the film industry, but people notice them, and
Yeah.
they're so good that the bigger films, bigger producers take them. You can't ignore them. So I think talent lasts now, especially now. We live in good times now, Raga. If
Sure.
I had said this a little earlier, probably it wouldn't make sense. But now is the time where you need actors. Now is the time when stories want these characters, and good actors, and anybody who's talented is most welcome. So I
So,
don't think it holds true too much. It doesn't bother me.
but it is known for the industry is known for its godfathers and godmothers, right?
Tell me, you have the topmost actors are who? Deepika Padukone, Priyanka Chopra, Shah Rukh
Right.
Khan.
Right. Yeah.
Uh, are all
Yeah.
these people
Yes.
Kangana Ranaut? Are all
Yes.
these people with
Yeah.
backings in the industry? No, they made it on their own.
But so
So
did you, right? But then to get
so
that
did
break,
I. In different
would have been the
I
most
never had a
difficult.
conventional break, Raga. I never did.
Sure.
I came through a multi-starrer film where I was a parallel lead, and I had to make my own place because I then was, what happens in the industry is that you are, people like to tie you in an image.
Sure.
Whatever you do, they'll just think of you only that way. There are very few people who think of you differently, or how else can they present you. So most of them would give me those multi-starrer roles where I had two songs, a sweet smile, a romantic scene with the hero, and all that. And I had to choose whether I would want to do that or leave it. And that's when I got trained to Pakistan, which introduced me to the parallel cinema, which made me do what I enjoyed doing. My kind of place, my kind of way of doing, my kind of role. I made so many friends in that, and that introduced me to that those kind of movies. So what happened in the process? I was doing commercial cinema as well as parallel cinema together, and somewhere I found my own niche.
So,
You know what you enjoy doing.
sure. So if today you were given a role, a really big role in a commercial cinema, with the top names, but you were given even a better role or more meaty and meaningful role in a parallel cinema, and it was the times clash, what would you choose? You had to do
Always
music.
always the meteor role. I've
Wow.
done that. It's not like a hypothetical
Yeah.
question to me, like
Sure.
you asked earlier.
Sure.
I've done
Sure.
that. In fact, everyone used to say, "Hey, what kind of after Veer-Zara was flooded with offers, everyone wanted this chirpy Punjaban who call Divya Datta, call her, call her."
Yeah.
And I didn't work for a year. I sat at home, and my mom said, "You're refusing so much work with the topmost banners and such good money they're offering you and good roles. Why aren't you doing it?" So I said, "Mom, I don't want to get bored seeing myself doing the same stuff. If I'm bored, my audience will eventually get bored."
Wow.
And that's the reason it's been 25 years. And I love that thing when people say that we want to see more of you. I think I take it as an amazing compliment. That's because I think I kind of feel like rediscovering, challenging myself,
Sure.
feeling that sense of nervousness. That's very important for whoever you are. That little nervousness is always good.
So you've done so many films right now, right? So is there anything, any particular role that you think, wow, that's something that I'm desperate to do or that should come to me? Is there anything like that that you haven't played that you'd like to play?
Um, there are certain makers I would love to work with,
Sure.
and they're on my wish list. In fact, this year I worked with some of my uh, directors who have been on my bucket list: Dibakar Banerjee, Neeraj Pandey, Sudhir Mishra.
Wow.
A lot of them this year was really nice work-wise. But yes, I think roles. I've done it all this year: action, comedy. I'm playing an antagonist somewhere. What I would love to do still is some nice romance. I love those subtle Gulzar Saab type of
Oh,
romantic films, and those silences. I did a film called Music Teacher, which is on Netflix. Uh,
okay.
that was very that kind of a film, and I just loved it. And it had Barmanda's, Panchamda's music in that. So that
Wow.
dream and that fantasy I had of having a song for me for myself which was composed by him came true in that. And my most favorite song was picturized on me from Ghar, Phir Wahi Raat Hai.
फिर वही रात है. Okay, I love
Yes.
that. No, and this Rishita films, the old movies, right? That we would
Yeah,
talk. Oh my
I'm
God,
binging on them these days,
you
lockdown
are.
period. Yeah.
Fantastic. I'm going to read some more before I come back to something else. You need to be active on digital platform. You're a strong person. You could make changes to people and make the world a better place for people. Okay, great. So Manoj says, Raga, how do you manage to get such interesting folks on your panel? What's your secret sauce? Hey, that remains a secret. So you need to be more active and manage. Ashish would love to. Okay, great. So somebody's trying to sell their this. That's fine. Hey, so you get so many proposals on social media, Divya. I love how you handle them. You know that one, one that I love what you said. They said to you, "Will you run on a date with me?" And I loved your response. And you said running would be slightly tough. Why don't you marry an athlete? You said, and I just kind of so wit is something that comes to you naturally.
I'm a naughty brat somewhere. I told you the child in me is pretty there. And so sometimes I leave that serious image and I just take that thing. And if those questions invite those kind of answers.
Brilliant, brilliant retort. I
So,
said, like, this is an absolutely brilliant retort. So, what are your views on marriage?
well, I think marriage can be a little overhyped sometimes. It's not a necessity, I would say. I think if I was like, if you'd asked me this a few years earlier, I would have had different views. But now I do feel what's more important is companionship. And I definitely want a partner who understands me, who is secure, knowing who I am. And because I'm told by many friends, I intimidate men, and yet you say I'm vulnerable. See the
Yeah, I'm a woman who loves women.
irony of it. So, so earlier, I mean, in college, I would have said, "Listen, I want this tall, dark, handsome guy in my life." But now I do feel I need somebody who's very secure in his place, who's very understanding, who I can be emotionally and intellectually stimulated as well. Along with the physical part of it, and it's not very easy to find somebody like that. But I'm very open to marriage. I would love to, and I don't know what life holds, but I'll be very happy even if I have a companion and just be and would just go for a drive and just go on a track somewhere. That's my thing that I want to do. So these little things I want to do with somebody.
So do you think marriage is important? I mean, companionship, yes, but is marriage important to have a committed relationship or?
It's a piece of paper. It can go off. Commitment is from the heart. I've
Yeah,
seen so many of my friends who stay together, and they ain't married. So it's I think it's a commitment of your heart and your mind. It's not about writing it on the paper. It's again the whole society thing that we have. Of
right.
course, I mean it is a beautiful institution, but I'm saying with today's changing times, it's also changing somewhere. So if it doesn't bog you down and change you for who you are, then great. But otherwise, I mean, I think to each their own. You can't generalize
Sure,
this question.
sure. Yeah,
So I am open to both. If you ask me, I'm open to both. I'm open to marriage. I'm open to a relationship. I'm good.
yeah. See, for me, it's when people ask me this question quite often. I've been married and was very happily married. Now, in a relationship for many, many, many years, and people ask me, and I say, "You, I want to. If I want to, I will. Not because I have to. You know,
Exactly.
that is the thing. Even now,
Exactly.
when Shubhade asked me the other day in that conversation, and I said, no, I don't know. I don't feel the need to. I've been married. I've
Yeah.
experienced it. But if I want to, I will never stop myself. But don't
Of
tell me I
course.
have to because you have children. And the children are not 22 years old. Ab kya karna? है
But
ना?
it has to come from within. It
Yes,
shouldn't be, told from outside, coming from outside sources that you should, ab kar lo, ab itte saal ho gaye.
exactly,
So,
exactly. But that's social conditioning is what you're talking about, right? That it should not happen because of the social conditioning that people are expecting it. It should happen because you want to. And when you meet the right person, you will know. I don't
yeah, when
know.
I talk to my cousins, they all have, their lives with their partners, their spouses, their children, and when I see all of them, I feel I'm the only different one who's not married, and then I feel I think I'm actually so passionate about my life that I don't want to see anyone else suffer.
No, Divya has frozen. Yeah. Sorry, guys. Divya has a little technical problem, so we will. I'm sure she'll log back. In the meantime, Anil Bharwani, thank you for the love. And Raj Singh Rawat says, Divya have a bit husky, beautiful voice. Does it help in acting or character? I will talk to her about it when she comes back. And Sarthak, thank you for the inputs that you're giving us. That's wonderful. That's really wonderful. Dikshant Rana, I think we're just a bit having a bit of a technical glitch. Nicola, back in. Can you get Divya to log back in? Divya will log back in quickly. It's a little technical glitch we've had. It's so wonderful to see so many of you making comments today, and the engagement is fantastic. We will make Divya laugh a little bit more. Don't worry about it. And Sarthak Chandra, thank you very much. And I think it's amazing to see you here as well. And we just hope that we are able to get Divya back quickly. Sometimes, there are network issues. COVID times, we have to experience everything, isn't it? Manoj, I would love to have a cup of tea and sit with you and talk to you about how I get interesting folks on my panel. You were one of my speakers, if you remember, not very long ago, and that was a very interesting conversation I have. So maybe you need to sit and think why. I think Divya is facing internet issues. Just give us a minute. Sorry, guys. Stay on, stay on. There's lots more interesting stuff coming. One second. I will talk to Divya here. Divya, hi, can you log back in? Divya, it's Raga. Can you log back in? It is not? Sure, sure, sure. Sure, sure. Thank you. Sorry, my friends. Divya is connecting. She's having a bit of difficulty with her network. Sarthak, fantastic. You are heading Infosys in Australia and New Zealand. I lived in New Zealand for many years. You lived in Porirua. I lived in Mapuya, that area near the airport. Ravi Kamboj wants me to sing a song. I think we need to keep the audience going. Dehliz pe. This reminds me of Badlapur song. Dikshant, I think you need to probably go and talk to your doctor. That could be a better idea. Hi Tulsi, my angel. You're saying yo hello, my angel. Raj Singh Rawat, thank you. It's a absolute pleasure to have such wonderful people. I just, Speaking Minds, the business that I run, and we just don't look at people with, big brands, big names. It is content. There are stories. There's something that they offer which is quite different. For instance, next week on Monday, we have Richard Mullender, who's a former hostage negotiator. So he's going to talk about how to listen with intent. As a hostage negotiator, it's a life or death situation. So how do you tune into that? People talk about, that body language is important when you communicate. But hey, listen now, I can't see my person, right? The speaker I'm speaking with. As a hostage, you can't see people like that. So how do you manage to listen to things that you can't hear and still make a decision that will save their lives? So people like that. I have Milind Soman coming in on the 3rd of June, and I'm sure a lot of Milind Soman fans will love that date that we will have with Milind Soman. Then on the 5th of June, we have Mark Ingalls, the first double amputee to summit Mount Everest, and that's going to be interesting as well. So I've got the week after. Sorry, Divya is calling. Let me just talk to her. Hi, Divya. Yes, yes. So should I wait, or what do we do? We wanted to listen. I will. ठीक है, हाँ, thank you. Thanks. Divya is having, I think her Wi-Fi connection has gone off, but let's wait. She said for a few more minutes because I would love for her to, if nothing else, recite her poem. Henna, do you guys hang in there unless you want to, until you can ask me questions, I can respond to your questions. She's back.
I'm back. Sorry.
You imagine I had to keep them entertained and
What did you
wow,
do? I missed all
like
of it.
I had to talk about
Sorry, guys. It's sorry.
I had to talk about Milind Soman. I had to talk about, we have a former hostage negotiator on, in our books on Monday for a talk. So
Okay,
Milind
okay.
Soman तो कर दिया आपने जल्दी जल्दी आ गए आप वापस. Very good.
Thank you. Sorry about this. G.
So we've got fantastic comments coming in, by the way.
I'm glad.
Saying
I'm
that
glad.
you're such a natural actor. Anita Martis says, I always
Thank you,
admire
Anita.
you. You have a soothing voice too. I'm glad to see Raga in conversation with you. Stay blessed and smiling always. Thank you. Now, Anita is a childhood friend, by the way. I grew up with her.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So where was I going? Your voice. There are lots of questions about your voice. I just want to know, is this like your voice? Are you trained? What is this?
You,
It's so
you know,
magical.
yeah. So today we were talking about the session that I did with Manat, and they had made a show reel of mine. And I was just seeing the difference in the voice when I was a kid, and now it's changed. But I haven't done anything. It's just happened naturally. But I'm glad and God's grace, really.
It's your natural voice and this modulation, no training. This is it?
I My mother was a poet and a writer, so there was a lot of Urdu coming from her.
Sure.
And because she used to talk to me that way, or I remember I was in a convent school, and in the Hindi class and in the English class, we had this thing where teachers used to make the students read chapters. So it was always and always me. And I remember one fine day, a girl just got up and said, Ma'am, why are you always telling Divya to read the chapter? Why not me? So the teacher said, Okay, aap padho. And she got stuck a few times. So this is why. So I think I liked the languages. I liked the languages. I liked uska jo bolne ka andaz hai. Or मुझे मीठा लगता है ये सब सुनने को ये आवाजें. So I think it just came.
I meant to ask you when I was listening to your poetry and obviously to all your other talks, and I said, like, how do you speak such beautiful Urdu? So that
Mama.
I would explain your mama, huh? Her poetry, by the way, I've been reading as well. The one about the
Yeah.
star, that she's it's such so beautiful. If you want to share that with us, please do. Otherwise, can we take this time, just in case you get logged off again, to listen
Yeah,
to your
I'm worried. Yes.
poetry?
Uh,
Jab sab theek hoga na. That's are you okay to read that out to our audience?
I'm gonna recite Mama's one and then I'll read the poetry before we
Please.
go off, right?
Yes, please, please.
तो मैं मम्मी की पोएम वो जो उनका है वो पढ़ती हूँ, सुनाती हूँ आपको। मैं सितारों से बातें करती हूँ, मैं अक्सर सितारों से बातें करती हूँ, कभी कभी उनसे पूछ लेती हूँ, क्या तुम्हारी तरह आसमां के अंधेरों में चमक पाऊंगी, जिंदगी की इस शहर में क्या कभी टिमटिमाऊंगी। तभी एक सितारा टूट जाता है मेरी गुमनामी की तरह किसी अंधेरे में, दूर कहीं दूर खो जाता है, फिर भी मैं अक्सर सितारों से बातें करती
So
हूँ।
beautiful. So is it available anywhere for you? I thought you said that there were some books compiled, poetry compiled in a book.
She has, in fact, I should have it here. Yeah, she has this book, Tanhaiya. Oh, sorry,
Tanhaina.
Tanhaiya.
And where is it available? Is it available online these days?
I don't think so. It's available in all the Hindi bookstores and all
Hindi
that stuff.
bookstore?
So yeah, but I think I should now make an thing of this and
Yes.
get it out. I will do that eventually because everyone's loving it so much.
How beautiful
So
poetry. हाँ.
thank
अभी
you.
आपका सुनाइए please.
जी मैं अपना सुनाती हूँ। जब सब ठीक होगा ना तो ये तो करते रहेंगे, वो जो दोस्तों से हर तीसरे दिन वीडियो कॉल करते हैं, अपनी वो गप्पे वो रेसिपीज एक्सचेंज करते हैं, कहाँ मिलता है वो मौका भाग दौड़ की जिंदगी में, वो एक थमा चौकड़ी करते रहेंगे। जब सब ठीक होगा ना तो ये तो करते रहेंगे, वो घर पे पुरानी एल्बम देखकर एक साथ बचपन की यादें ताजा करना, वो टी शर्ट पजामे में आरडी बर्मन सुनते हुए मिलकर सफाइयां करना, वो मस्ती वो पिलो फाइट्स वो शरारत करते रहेंगे। जब सब ठीक होगा ना तो ये तो जरूर करते रहेंगे, वो जो हर छोटी चीज समेट रहे हैं घर की अब, जब बाई आएगी तो इस बार सफाई उस पर नहीं छोड़ेंगे, एक मदद का हाथ देंगे और उसके चेहरे पर मुस्कुराहट भरते रहेंगे। जब सब ठीक होगा ना तो ये तो करते रहेंगे, वो जो नीचे चौकीदार भैया है ना उनसे रोज का चाय नाश्ता पूछना, एक दुआ सलाम करना, वो घर से दूर है इसका एहसास कम करना, ये भी आते जाते करते रहेंगे। जब सब ठीक होगा ना तो ये तो करते रहेंगे, वो गली के कुत्तों को हाय हेलो करके रोटी देना, वो गाती हुई कोयल के बोल समझना, वो छत पर जाकर कौओं को पानी देना, रब की इस कायनात से दोस्ती करते रहेंगे। जो गलत कर दिया था हमने उसे ठीक करने का मौका मिला है, उस ठीक को हम और अच्छा करते रहेंगे। जब सब ठीक होगा ना तो ये तो करते रहेंगे।
Beautiful. See, this is like this is the kind of poetry that you don't get to listen to, and the audience aren't we so fortunate to have this time with Divya. Divya, thank you so much. You know, I am going to say that was a date at 8, and I will consider this as a date. And so, thank you very much for that. I've had
Thank
the
you,
best
Raji.
date possible. Nicola can stay in the background for a bit longer. Thank you very much, Divya. Is there any
Thank you,
message you
Mother.
want to give us? I've been spoken about lockdown only because I don't want to talk about lockdown. It's like
Yes,
everybody's
let's just
talking about
forget it for a
lockdown. है
while.
ना?
जी,
तो थोड़ी देर के लिए वो
yes,
भूल जाते हैं. But
बिल्कुल।
Divya, thank you very much. It was such a wonderful pleasure. I'm just going to take a very short time to thank the audience. Audience, thank you very much. These shows are very special thanks to your engagement and the time that you give us. Nicola, I can't thank you enough. Nicola Fenton does the thing on in the background, always in the background, and she does a fantastic job. So thanks for keeping us alive, Nicola. Again, Sean D'Souza, who is a wonderful young boy who does the creative support. Bombay में बैठा हुआ है, staying at home and doing this seamlessly. I think it's a fantastic thing that we've all learned. Join us on the 1st of June for a talk with Richard Mullender, a former hostage negotiator, 8:30 p.m. India time, 4 p.m. London. And goodbye from Speaking Minds. Please, you can reach out to me on any of my social media handles at Totally Out Now. More than anything, what a wonderful pleasure, Divya, to have you. I really feel that I've
Thank you.
known you forever, and I would love to stay in touch. We want to watch all your films. Sheer Qorma is going
Thank
to be
you.
my favorite ever. I already know that. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Lots
And
of
thank you,
love.
Nicola. And thank you, everyone right here. Thanks.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Thank you. Lots of love.
Bye. You take care. Lots of love.
You
Bye
too.
bye.
Bye.